Okay, so it's me back with another review. This is sort of an updated review of Zelda, the new Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Because I did an initial review that was just sort of me just picking up for the first hour or so. And I played a little bit more of it now, so I'm going to give my updated thoughts on it. Because I have had some different thoughts to say on it. And then I'll probably do one final video when I finally finish it. So, yeah, it is good. Like I said in my last review, I think the first couple of hours or so, I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really good. I like the fact the dungeons are back. I love the little style of it. But there are some problems with it that I'm starting to come across. Not massive things, but there's a few technical issues with it. It sort of glitches and drops frame rate at times, which is a bit weird considering how simple the style is. And it's not that like it's not like it's a jittery mess every 2 minutes, but just every now and again it will glitch a little bit, which is a bit odd. Um, and I like the fact that it's a different gameplay mechanic. I like the fact this aspect of creating the things out of echoes. So you get rid of the baddie once, and then you can make your own version of it, or you can do that with objects as well. And some of the puzzles and stuff, it's good, but it's really unwieldy with the menus, like because there's so many different things. There's so many different things you can get that, like each time now, like at the start, it's not so bad, but you've only got like 5 things to choose from. But now it's just like an inordinate amount of menus you have to scroll through to find the right thing you want, and it's a little clumsy. Like especially the aspect of, I don't mind the aspect of summoning the monsters instead of fighting things yourself, but it doesn't always work great. Like some of the time, the monsters don't lock onto things you want to. Some of the time, it's just more of a faff essentially to take care of baddies than it was. And you do get to change into like a link mode where you can like use your sword and shield. And I was finding changing into link mode made me just wish I was Link, to be honest. Like it's great they've tried a different technique and have gone a different way, but overall I prefer Link with his sword and shield. I have to say I prefer just more straightforward, like let's just use the sword and shield to get the baddies rather than having to magic up baddies every time to try and get one baddie and then they both get killed and you have to magic more of them. It's a bit of a pain, and doing bosses and stuff is more of a pain, having to use these like conjure up these characters rather than just hit them with a sword. So while I appreciate the fact it did something a bit different, I I'm missing the kind of classic Zelda sword and shield kind of combo. And of course, you had like boomerangs and like bow and arrow and stuff added into that too. But all those kind of things I'm sorely missing. I feel like I just want to go back and play Link's Awakening or something, which I will eventually. But yeah, it's a cool idea that we tried to do something different, and I do still enjoy the game. Um, but it's not as good as I first thought, and I am starting to feel like there are a few cracks showing here and there, but I still overall enjoy it. So I'll be interested to see what my final review is like when I finally finish it. I have heard some people say that the ending it goes downhill a bit in the last few hours and it's a bit dragged out. So we'll see. I'm going to try my best to finish it as soon as I can and give my views on it, like in a final kind of wrap up video. But for now, I'll say, well, I do enjoy it. I am starting to notice a few things about it that bug me a little bit, that sort of mean it's probably not quite as good as some of the other Zelda games, but it's at least something different, and it's nice to have Zelda as a title character. I mean, one of the things that some people criticised it for, which I don't really think is as fair criticism, is that Zelda doesn't have enough character or there's not enough emphasis on her as a character. But Link doesn't have any emphasis on him as a character. Like, when you play as Link, he doesn't even talk. So I don't really feel that the main character in a Zelda game really needs to have that. Like, he's never had that. He's never had great character development. He's never had a lot of like depth to him. That's the whole appeal of Link, is he's a character you can kind of step into the shoes of. And he doesn't say anything, and obviously he is judged on the deeds he does. You as a player do. So when you accomplish something great, like, oh Link, you did this thing, but as a character, he has no character. He's very characterless, and there's no kind of. I think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom changed that a little bit, but classically, Link has always just been a blank slate character in my mind. He's never been like a well-rounded character that has gone on a journey, or there's been an awful lot of character drama with him. So I don't know why we need to have it with Zelda. I'm like, well, it's just the same, really. I don't, just because she's a female character, we don't suddenly need to change it up and make her have a whole big character story. Like, I don't feel like you need to get to know the depths of who Zelda is, because you never do that with Link. He's just a hero. It's as simple as that. He is like a hero who does hero stuff. Like, there's nothing else to it. and the simplicity of Zelda, I think, is what makes it such a winning formula, because people want to be a hero, they want to do cool stuff. That's what Zelda is playing into that myth of, right? So yeah, I love it the way it is, and I don't think you need to have extra time spent with Zelda to build up as a character or anything like that. I think just do it the way they've always done it, and that's not to say that you can't go off, like I say, with the other Zelda games. With Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I felt they were going more down the route of making Link a bit more of a character, has a bit more to him, has a bit more backstory there's a bit more depth than there has been, but he's still essentially that hero. He's still essentially that hero character. He's just lost his memory, sort of thing. But anyway, that's my updated review of Echoes of Wisdom. I am still enjoying it, but there are a few little niggles I'm having with it, and we'll see if those become a big problem or not by the end.